Hello friends, I am Aditi. Welcome to my channel Library Mouse. Today I am going to read a book, How to Develop Self-Confidence and Influence People by Public Speaking by Dale Carnegie. This book contains 12 chapters, so let's continue with chapter 5, Essential Elements in Successful Speaking. The day these lines are written, January 5th, is the anniversary of the death of Sir Ernest Shackleton. He died while steaming southward on the good ship Quest to explore the Antarctic. The first thing that attracted one's eyes on going aboard the Quest were these lines engraved on a brass plate. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with Trump and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, if you can fill the forgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours in the earth and everything that's in it, and what is more, you will be a man, my son. The spirit of the quest. Shackleton called those verses, and truly they are the proper spirit with which a man should start out to reach the South Pole or to gain confidence in public speaking. But that is not the spirit, I regret to add, in which all persons began the study of public speaking years ago. When I first engaged in educational work, I was astounded to learn how large a percentage of students who enrolled in night schools of all sorts grew weary and fainted by the wayside before their goals were attained. The number is both lamentable and amazing. It is a sad commentary on human nature. There is nearing the middle of the book, and I know from experience that some who are reading are already growing disheartened because they have not conquered their fear of audience and gained self-confidence. What a pity, for how poor are they that have not patience. What wound did ever heal but by degrees? The necessity of persistence. When we start to learn any new thing like French or golf or public speaking, we never advance steadily. We do not improve gradually. We do it by sudden jerks, by abrupt starts. Then we remain stationary a time, or we may even slip back and lose some of the ground we have previously gained. These periods of stagnation or retrogression are well known by Yale psychologists, and they have been named plateaus in the curve of learning. Students of public speaking will sometimes be stalled for weeks on one of these plateaus. Work as hard as they may, they cannot get off it. The weak ones give up in despair. Those with grit persist, and they find that suddenly, overnight, without their knowing how or why it has happened, they have made great progress. They have lifted from the plateau like an aeroplane. Abruptly, they have gotten the knack of the thing. Abruptly, they have acquired naturalness and force and confidence in their speaking. You may always, as we have noted elsewhere in these pages, experience some fleeting fear, some shock, some nervous anxiety the first few moments you face an audience. But if you will but preserve, you will soon eradicate everything but this essential fear. And that will be essential fear and nothing more. After the first few sentences, you will have control of yourself. You will be speaking with positive pleasure, keeping everlasting at it. One time a young man who aspired to study law wrote to Lincoln for advice, and Lincoln replied, if you are resolutely determined to make a lawyer of yourself, the thing is more than half done already. Always bear in mind that your own resolutions to succeed is more important than any other one thing. Lincoln knew. He had gone through it all. He had never in his entire life had more than a total of 1 year's schooling and books. Lincoln once said he had walked to borrow every book within 50 miles of his home. A log fire was usually kept going all night in the cabin. Sometimes he read by the light of that fire. There were cracks between the logs, and Lincoln often kept a book sticking in a crack. As soon as it was light enough to read in the morning, he rolled over on his bed of leaves, rubbed his eyes, pulled out the book and began devouring it. He walked 20 and 30 miles to hear a speaker, and returning home, he practiced his talks everywhere, in the fields, in the woods, before the crowds gathered at John's grocery at Gentryville. He joined literary and debating societies in New Salem and Springfield, and practiced speaking on the topic of the day, much as you are doing now. A sense of inferiority always troubled him. In the presence of women, he was shy and dumb. When he counted Mary Todd, he used to sit in the parlor, bashful and silent, unable to find words, listening while she did the talking. Yet that was the man who, by practice and home study, made himself into the speaker who debated with the accomplished orator, Senator Douglas. That was the man who at Gettysburg and again in the second inaugural address rose to heights of eloquence that have rarely been attained in all the annals of mankind. Small wonder that in view of his own terrific handicaps and pitiful struggle, he wrote, "If you are resolutely determined to make a lawyer of yourself, the thing is more than half done already." There was an excellent picture of Abraham Lincoln in the President's office. "Often, when I had some matter to decide," said Theodore Roosevelt, "something involved and difficult to dispose of, something where there was conflicting rights and interests, I would look up at Lincoln, try to imagine him in my place, try to figure out what he would do in the same circumstances. It may sound odd to you, but frankly it seemed to make my troubles easier of solution. Why not try Roosevelt's plan? Why not, if you are discouraged and feeling like giving up the fight to make a speaker of yourself, why not pull out of your pocket one of the $5 bills that bear a likeness of Lincoln and ask yourself what he would do under the circumstances? You know what he would do. You know what he did do. After he had been beaten by Stephen A. Douglas in the race for the U.S. Senate, he admonished his followers not to give up after 1 nor 100 defeats. The certainty of reward. How I wish I could get you to prop this book open on your breakfast table every morning for a week until you had memorized these words from Professor William James, the famous Harvard psychologist. Let no youth have any anxiety about the upshot of his education, whatever the line of it may be. If he keeps faithfully busy each hour of the working day, he may safely leave the final result to itself. He can, with perfect certainty, count on waking up some fine morning to find himself one of the competent ones of his generation, in whatever pursuit he may have singled out. Here this is half a part of chapter 5. In next video, we will continue this. Thank you so much for listening it, and I hope it is understandable to you. If you enjoy watching my videos, do like, subscribe and share with your family and friends. Thank you.